In today's episode, Deb asks, how often should you check your Facebook analytics? This is an interesting question because it's predicated on a key assumption about Facebook analytics, and that is that they're important, that they're something that you should be checking. Facebook is a channel, and it's a set of tactics and methods, and therefore you would want to check it when you are making changes to those tactics, or if your business is one of those rare few where Facebook is the end point for your transactions, meaning that the key business KPIs happen on Facebook, such as if you're using Facebook Marketplace to sell stuff and you're making money on Facebook, then yeah, you'd want to check Facebook analytics fairly often. The general rule of thumb is the closer to the business result you are, the more you should be checking the analytics of any system, right? So if your business result is sales, you probably want to check that fairly frequently. On the other hand, something like reach or impressions or even engagements on social media, those are not business outcomes, and therefore you don't have to check them as frequently. The times when you would want to check these analytics would be, again, like I mentioned, when you're making changes to a system, but also when you're doing an in-depth analysis of what's working and what's not. And you would do this using statistical or machine learning software to say, hey, these are the key factors that we care about, like sales, and then you'd have a big old spreadsheet of all the different columns that you have, like Facebook likes and engagements and like and wow and haha and all that stuff, and your Google Analytics data and your marketing automation data and your CRM data that has the outcome that you care about, the business impact. And the statistical software will process, slice and dice, and mix and match all these variables until it finds the combination of those variables that indicate most strongly that they correspond to the business outcome you care about. So if it turns out that Facebook post reach or engagements has a strong relationship to the business outcome, then you would want to check those analytics more frequently, because those are the ones that are shown to have a correlative engagement, and you'd want to then increase or decrease your activities to see if you can prove causation, to see if you can say, yep, this is in fact what drives the sales that we care about. On the other hand, if you run that analysis and Facebook's not in your top 5 variables of things that lead to business results, then it's probably safe to say you can do a little bit less on Facebook and certainly check the analytics a lot less frequently. At the end of the day, you have to check the analytics of the things that matter the most, because every time you dig into the analytics of a system, you are, or many people are compelled to dig around some more and figure out, like, oh, is this something I should be looking at? And they kind of go down these little rat holes. And that's okay if it's a critical business number. If it's just a distraction, if there's no value to that number, then you're not using your time the best way possible. So Facebook analytics are only important if Facebook's important to you, and Facebook's only important if it's creating business outcome. This is true, by the way, of any analytics system. So how often should you check your YouTube analytics? How often should you check your Twitter analytics, your Reddit analytics, all these different systems? One of the problems that a lot of marketers, especially social media marketers, have is there's too many systems and too much data out there, and they're not sure what matters. And they don't know where to spend their time, and so it's kind of like, all these numbers, what do I do with all these numbers? So this is how you get around that. You do the analysis, you figure out what matters and what doesn't, and then you focus in on the things that matter the most. I was doing some work for a customer yesterday, actually, and one of the things that came up in this analysis was Instagram matters to them a whole bunch, or it matters to their outcome that they care about a whole bunch, but they're spending a lot of their time on Facebook. And so one of the pieces of feedback is, let's move some of those resources, because the analytics and the insights say Instagram has that more strong relationship. So let's keep the amount of work that you're doing, but move it from one channel to another and see if in turn we have the increase in business results that corresponds to that relationship. And it won't always be there. Sometimes there can be a relationship that is not causal, or that there's a confounding factor of some kind. A really good example of this would be the textbook example is ice cream consumption and drowning deaths are highly correlated. Well, ice cream doesn't cause drowning, but summertime means people eat more ice cream, and summertime means people go swimming more. And the more people who go swimming, the more people drown. So it's not always a guarantee, but at the very least, you can establish the relationship, then begin testing for causality or looking for those underlying factors. So great question, Deb. How often should you check your Facebook analytics? How often should you check any analytics is contingent upon what those KPIs are. And an important thing to do, and maybe this is a topic for a separate video, is you got to do your KPI mapping first so that you understand what you really should be focusing your time and energy on. As always, please leave comments in the comment section below and subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.